The Justice Department is suing Texas over the state's new redistricting plan. Attorney General Merrick Garland says the new maps violate the Voting Rights Act by discriminating against minority voters. According to the lawsuit, the numbers of Black, Latino, and Asian voters have grown significantly in Texas over the last decade. Republican Governor Greg Abbott signed the redistricting plans into law in October. For more, I want to bring in Kim Wehle. Kim is a professor of law at the University of Baltimore. She is also the author of the book, How to Read the Constitution and Why. Kim, welcome. So why does the Justice Department allege Texas's redistricted maps are discriminatory?
Well, this is known as gerrymandering, or what people call packing and cracking districts. So the idea is, if there's a lot of minority voters in one district that have power at the ballot box, because there's a lot of them, let's break them up and add them on to a bunch of white districts. Or if we've got we want to consolidate white power, we'll create this sort of distorted district that is primarily white, so that any Latino or African American voters just can't make an impact in that race. So the argument is that this violates the Voting Rights Act because carving up districts in a way that either affects race or does it with a discriminatory intent is against the law. And DOJ is arguing both happened here because the state of Texas, since the last census, increased its population by 4 million people, and 95% of those were minorities. They added 2 seats to their district count, and that's not translating into more power for minority voters, just as a matter of logic. So the argument is, wait a minute, there's some funny business going on here, because if you just divided things up based on the math and based on logic, you'd see the increased minority population have more voting power in the state of Texas.
So that's the allegation. What exactly, Kim, is the lawsuit seeking then?
The lawsuit is seeking a declaration by the federal court that Texas violated the law. And Texas has a history of doing this even before the last census. And they want the court essentially to impose a fairer methodology. And they want the court to require that Texas follow this fair methodology. And I should add, Elaine, that a lot of the problems with this stem in part from what the Supreme Court did in 2013, which is to take out a different part of the Voting Rights Act called Section 5. It struck that down. Traditionally, after Section 5, the DOJ would have to sign off on these changes. And now that the DOJ is out of the business of doing that, we're seeing more of these shenanigans happen on both sides of the aisle. Democrats and Republicans do it, but Republicans do it more often, and it's particularly bad in Texas, and it makes people's votes not really count. And if they're not being counted based on race, that's a violation of the Voting Rights Act. It also turns out to be a violation of the Constitution, but that's not expressly alleged in this lawsuit.
Yeah, so Attorney General Garland is urging Congress to restore preclearance. Can you explain exactly what that is?
Right, so that is a great question. Follows up on my last point, which is this idea of Section 5. So the Voting Rights Act was passed in 1965 to essentially force states to comply with the post-Civil War amendments that brought formerly enslaved men, and later it was the 19th Amendment, all women, into the voting tent. And they were just coming up with cute ways of, and I say put cute in quotes, making people not able to vote anyway, with arbitrary requirements. Voting Rights Act said, listen, it's against the law to do that based on race. And by the way, we're going to basically have DOJ be the intermediary. That's preclearance. The DOJ is going to have to come in and say, we're going to let you do this if we're comfortable that you're creating these districts without some bad intent or bad impact on race. The Supreme Court, despite multiple times at Congress with vast supermajority bipartisan support. The Supreme Court struck down Section 5. This is now the John Lewis Voting Rights Act that's been pending now. Republicans won't let it get past the filibuster. But this is at the heart and soul of basic voting rights. And essentially DOJ saying, listen, Congress, Democrats, while you still have a majority, let's get your act together and make our job a little bit easier so we don't have to go to court and sue after the fact. We can avoid this beforehand with this pre-clearance thing that the Supreme Court said, go back and fix it based on what we think the Supreme Court thinks it needs to be adjusted around.
All right, we're going to continue to watch this issue. Kim Wehle, Kim, always good to have you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Elaine.